Hey, as far as I know, Vietnam and East Asian countries use the similar calendars, right?
Hello my fellows, welcome to this video. Probably when studying the history of Vietnam as well as East Asian countries, it can have several difficulties. And I believe that one of the difficulties you're having is the names of ancient monarchs. Probably in many cases, you wonder why a king or a queen in this region could have many names. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about the typical names of an ancient monarch, basically a king or a queen in East Asia and Vietnam, to help you understand more the histories of this region. The first name I would like to talk to you is the real name, obviously. Everyone has a name when being born, right? And kings and queens in Vietnam and East Asia were not the exceptions. The only notable thing is name of a future monarch should sound very elegant and noble, and it was decided principally by the incumbent monarch. The second name that I would like to talk to you is the era name. Possibly at the moment you have such a question.
Hey, as far as I know, Vietnam and East Asian countries use the similar calendars, right?
Yes, basically Vietnam and East Asian countries use the similar calendars. They have the similar principles. But you must understand that calendar calculations in different periods were different from each other. Furthermore, in the case of these countries, the king or the queen was the person who decided the calendar model, not the royal astronomers. You should understand that it was very different from the medieval Europe, where popes and astronomers decided the calendar model, and then monarchs in the whole Europe had to adapt it. That's why in history there were many kings and queens who had many era names. For example, Lý Nhân Tông, one of the kings of the Lý dynasty of Vietnam, had 8 era names. Meanwhile, the Cao Dong of the Tang dynasty had 14 era names. Another important note is the year when the era name was coined was considered as the first year corresponding this name. For example, in 2019, Naruhito became the new emperor of Japan, and his era name is Showa. So, 2019 was considered as the first year of the Showa era. So, we have talked about the real name when a king or queen was born, and the era name when he or she reigned his or her own kingdom. So what about when he or she passed away? In this situation, there are 2 types of name, the temple name and the posthumous name. Basically, there are not many differences between these 2 types. First difference was the temple name was used when praying by people. Meanwhile, the posthumous name wasn't. Basically, when a king or queen passed away, his or her statue was brought to a temple, and then people went there to pray. And when praying, people usually said his or her temple name, not posthumous name. The second difference was principally the temple name and the musical words like To and To in Vietnamese, as well as Chinese, Japanese, and Korean equivalents. Meanwhile, the posthumous ended with Hoàng đế in Vietnamese and Chinese, Japanese, and Korean equivalents. Third one was the temple name was usually shorter than the posthumous name. The fourth one was the temple name was only coined by the monarch in the next era in the same dynasty. Meanwhile, the posthumous could be coined by the monarchs in the next dynasties, not necessarily in the same dynasty. So I have talked to you about the 4 typical names of a monarch in the history of Vietnam and East Asia. If you believe that this video is interesting, please hit the like button for this video as well as the others of my videos. Share it to any platform of social media, and subscribe and follow my channel. Thank you and wait for something new. Goodbye and see you later.